Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it, and we water the grass here.
Tell us what it was like being at the dunk last night.
That was the most chaotic environment I've ever been in my life.
Friartown is Titletown tonight.
Here's Pip, guarded by Gillespie. Steps back, spins, fires! Woo! Pip gets!
Who run shit like me? Top 5 basically. I still play for keeps, ain't no fantasy, hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divine Providence. This is Season 2, Episode 14. The Friars are coming off a nice little victory against Creighton on a Friday night in Providence. The beers were flowing. Mac was dancing it up at Moonshine Alley last night after a big W. Shout out Avid Mindsetter. Things are a little confusing in Friartown. I think that there's certainly reason to be optimistic after last night. They beat a great Creighton team. Maybe not great, good Creighton team. But at the end of the day, really nothing has changed. There's plenty of issues with this team. We'll get into all of that. Mac, I bet you're a little hungover today. How we feeling?
Yeah, un poquito el hungover. The Spanish was coming out last night, and nobody farms engagement on Twitter from my drunk shortcomings than Avid Mindsetter. But this is a Friars podcast. The Friars are back in the win column. You love that.
Yeah.
But definitely feeling down in the dumps today outside of the Friars win.
Yeah, it was a nice win. It felt good to get back in the win column. It was good to watch another game with Mac. He's been right next to me for a majority of these games, but I'm just looking forward to getting Lev back in the building on Saturday against Georgetown. I haven't seen this kid in a while. Looking forward to seeing him back in his element. It's going to be a great day for the Friar fans. And I glaze this fan base all the time, but I have to do it again. I was just saying to the guys, like, it's been an up and down season. And Leb said it right. It's been confusing. It's tough. But Tuesday night, this team comes in at 8-8 against Villanova, bottom feeder here, right as we stand in the Big East, and the place was still almost sold out on a Tuesday night when people knew they had another game on Friday against Creighton. You lose against Villanova. Last night against Creighton, the place is banged out. The students are all there again. That speaks volumes to this fan base. I know we keep saying it about how special it is, but it's true. And it's moments like this when the team isn't doing good for a couple of years now, and the people still come out. Okay, so that's like I said, that speaks volumes about this fan base.
Definitely. I mean, you looked at MSG, right? It was mostly, not mostly PC fans, but it was like probably 5,000 PC fans. Same thing, against Villanova. Tuesday night, sold out. Creighton sold out. So like Mike said, shout out to the fans. The fans are always going to be here. It's such a great place to play if you feed off the fan environment and the energy. And that's really what this team does. And no one more than Jameer Jones. Number 5 has just been lighting it up for the Friars. Haven't seen a freshman with this much athleticism, ability to get to the hoop in my time as a Friar fan. I don't know if you guys can agree with that, but we're so lucky to have him and Stefan Vaaks.
I remember saying earlier in the season, Jameer Jones, watching him guard on the ball was like shades of Devin Carter. Mm-hmm. And even just like watching him get out in transition, he's just an athletic freak. I'm not saying the kid's like Big East Player of the Year, Devin Carter, but like same style of play. And it's like refreshing to be like, you have a dog in at all times. You could throw 4 walk-ons in with Jameer Jones. And it's just like, you got one dog. At least you got one dog on the court. Like you always feel confident with him in the game.
It's crazy. When this kid goes to the basket, he does whatever he wants. He just gets to the basket and he puts the ball in the hole. I haven't seen anything like that in a while. Downhill runner going to the basket. He's in control a majority of the time and just contorting his body in different ways, up and under. He's got, multiple defenders on him. He's still putting the ball in the cup. It's really impressive. And it's like, he makes plays. And I look at my dad, I look at Mac, and I'm like, this kid is unbelievable. So we're lucky to have this kid in Friartown. Jameer, stick around, buddy. We need you.
He had a play last night. Sorry, Leb. I just real quick. He had a play last night. Someone threw it up to Jameer, and I think the defender was in the way. He couldn't really like get momentum to go and slam it, but he kind of just like volleyball tipped it, and it hit off the bottom of the rim, off the backboard, and it was like one of those shots. Like how did you manage to put that in the cup?
Yeah, he's like a receiver, like an NFL wide receiver. You know, it's like watching like Andre Johnson out there. Like he's just so special. And honestly, if you're listening to the show, you're in one of two categories. You're either in the category of, get rid of Kim English, we need a coaching change, right? Or you're in the category of keep Kim for another year, give him another shot, see how it goes. He can acquire talent. Let's, see how it goes for at least year 4. And really the biggest question is, if Jameer Jones comes back, if Stefan Vaaks comes back, do you want Kim to come back? Right? Like we're not on one side or the other. We're not a fire Kim. We're not a keep Kim. We're very neutral. We have listeners on both sides, so it's totally fine. But if Jameer comes back and Vaaks comes back, I mean, it's a pretty good argument to keep the coach.
It is tough because you do run the risk of, again, I want to stay neutral. You run the risk of the boy who cried wolf, and you're sitting here in 2027, and it's like, well, kind of told you so. But like, you also can't deny the talent that you have with Jameer Jones and Steph Vaaks. Sure. Like we've talked about it before on the show. Players commit to coaches. They don't commit to programs or logos or cities. They commit to coaches. So it's the talent's there with Vaaks and Jameer, and they're only freshmen. Like these kids are young, inexperienced as much as it may not look like it at times. So it's just, I mean, we still got 12 games left, 13 games left. It's a lot can change. A lot can play out for better or for worse in the next month and a half.
It's a really loaded question, and it's really difficult to answer exactly. I think some stuff still needs to play out. Because I like Kim English, the person, I really do. And it's hard because, if say he does leave or he does get fired, this whole roster could be gone. And you could literally be starting from scratch. And that's really, really, really hard to do. And it could be an uphill battle. And who knows who the next guy would be. But my thing is, two things here is the way he constructed the roster. It looked good on paper, but now looking at it, it's a lot of wings and, one solid big man. You don't really have a great ball handler, which has hurt them late in games to have a guy to, eat clock and have control of the ball. You saw it a lot in that UConn game. You see it in overtime a lot. So I think that's really difficult, and not having a lot of big man depth, I think really hurts them. So I think hopefully, if you do come back, you can learn from something like that and change a little bit of your roster construction. So yeah, I think it's just, let's kind of see how this thing plays out. And then my other thing too is some of the defensive woes that have just continued the whole entire year is just giving up the 3-point shot. It's like you have able bodies and athletic bodies that can get out and guard a shooter, and it happens every single game with some of this defense. And that's just a little bit alarming that there haven't been major changes on the defensive end. So there's a lot to talk about in that question.
Yeah. I think that, for someone like myself who wants to see the program do well, but also I think that, putting an emphasis on obtaining talent is really important. If I were to lay it all out there, right, just 100% transparency, I would say I am, in the middle of kind of yes or no for year 4. And a lot of that comes down to who's available, right? Like, I think we all can kind of agree that the tier 1 of who you might want to replace Kim English with would be, dream scenario is Billy Donovan, probably incredibly unlikely. And I think that Josh Schertz is in that category as well. He's, the hottest name in coaching right now. But it's going to be an uphill battle to bring him to Providence. If neither of those guys are available, and you do lose Jones and Vaaks, then I'm not really sure it's in the best interest of the program to spend a ton of money getting out of the contract that they have with Kim. Would you guys agree with that or no?
It's you mentioned the Billy Donovan thing. I've been hate watching the Chicago Bulls. Like, I don't actually watch the broadcast or anything, but I'll keep tabs on the box score, and I'm just like, come on. let's just see the Bulls just turn into a dumpster fire. Send Billy D back home to Providence. And that could even be in a GM role. Everything could work out here in Friartown. We could just have Billy Donovan in a GM role. I just want that guy back in Providence.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. The buyout has been talked about in circles, and it's not a small, chunk of change. And that could hinder, like, do you swing for the fences on a guy like Josh Schertz, where, let's say a school like Cincinnati opens up and they could throw him a bag and we just can't compete with the number because of the buyout hindering. There's just a ton of factors that go into it. It's a hodgepodge of stuff right now.
And it would be a domino effect too with the buyout, because then, that limits the school's money, for NIL and bringing in other players. And you're going to be, that's going to hurt you to bring in good talent, if you have to pay that buyout money and then whatever you're going to pay this new coach. So yeah, no, as of right now, I don't even know how to answer that question, because of course I want Billy Donovan here or Schertz. Like, those sound like great options, but are the people going to buy in? Are the players going to buy in? Who can this coach bring in? I don't know. It's pretty confusing at the moment.
It is. And, I'm not trying to make it a volatile question. I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot.
No, not at all. No, because this has to be talked about right now.
It does. I mean, there's an elephant in the room. And like I said, we're not 100% one way or the other. I think there's been times, like, if I were being completely honest with myself, with you guys, with our listeners, I think there's been times where I've said, I'm 100% out. We got to get rid of Kim, and I like Kim, but we got to move on, right? But then there's been times where I've looked at the big picture and thought about the buyout and thought about, Jameer and Vaaks and the options out there for this year, and thought, maybe it might not be in the best interest of the program to move on from him just yet. So there's a lot to kind of figure out over these next, 2 months or so. Yeah, mid-March is really, when things start to happen. So we'll see. I mean, I think the number one thing that we have to remember with Kim is, or more so this team, is they don't have an on-court coach. And I think that's what they need. Like, if you placed Al Durham in this team, I think we would probably see a much different result, like a floor general veteran point guard. Nothing against Corey Floyd, but he's not a point guard. He doesn't have the ball in his hands enough to dictate how the game is played, the tempo, the offense, defense. I think that they need a pass-first floor general point guard. And if Kim does come back, that is a 100% must-have, period.
I think, I mean, I would argue, I think the big man position is even more of an issue. We talk about the defense. I think a lot of it has to do with the rebounding. You're giving up 85 points a game, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're giving up second chance points every other time down the court. We've talked about how Oswin is not a polished offensive guy, so you kind of limit yourself in the paint. It's like, how are we going to get our points in the paint? Is it just going to be Jalen Sellers and Jameer Jones putting their head down and, running Oklahoma drills in the key? Like, you kind of limit yourself. And I think, you've seen spurts from Duncan Powell, but it's not like, he's your go-to guy in the low block. You're going to feed him. I think this team lacks a go-to low post option and just rebounding in general, because the rebounding has been putrid. Like, if we want to point fingers, it's the rebounding more than anything.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on there. And it's weird because you did win the rebounding battle last night. You won it 46-37, but being there, it didn't seem that way. They should have had another 10 rebounds, it felt like. And you also have just multiple guys going for the ball. I can't tell you how many times there's been like 3 guys going for the ball and it hits off their hands, and then, the other team gets it, or, someone tries to catch a rebound and just, bounces off their hands and into the defense. So it has been very, very, very frustrating. And then in games when you have a shorter rotation, now, especially with Edwards out, so the rotation's even shorter, you haven't seen Pinnis or Hargrove get off the bench the last 2 games, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they logged a single minute.
I was screaming the fact that we didn't see any Hargrove minutes. Like he's not like again, he's not like this talented guy, but like you're not gonna like Osmond did not have a good first half. Like
No.
point blank, you're not gonna just give me like 2 or 3 Hargrove minutes to see if he can hang down low. Like it was just I was screaming yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. And Oswin, I mean, that's another conversation, right? And I mean, I think Oswin has all the potential in the world, and he can be such an unbelievably great player here. But in the same, same kind of thought, he hasn't really developed into a rebounder that we hoped. Sure, he can block shots, and he hasn't really developed an offensive game. So,
No.
When you look at that and you do factor in how much money he is getting, at some point you may have to just say, well, might not be the best fit right now. And that might be another conversation for the offseason. Or you kind of need to go out and get like a really big time rebounder to play alongside Oswin. Duncan Powell is an okay rebounder, but he's not that guy. Like I'm talking about like a junkyard dog, like a Charles Barkley, LaDante Henton type who can just rebound literally everything. I will say this. I think this team does look a little different with Daquan Davis and Rich Barron. People kind of forget about that. I think Daquan is a guy that we didn't get to see him, but he can do a lot of things that a point guard can do that we need a point guard to do because he is kind of a true point guard. And Rich Barron's tough. I mean, there's a reason why he has like 6 concussions. It's because he lays his body on the line, and he's a tough kid, and they need toughness. And he can shoot a little bit, and he can D up a little bit. Sometimes he looks just completely lost in the defensive end. Sometimes he really just looks like a good defender. So I do think this team would look different with those two guys. I don't know how much it would mean or how much of a difference it would mean, but we can't forget that as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, especially with the Daquan Davis point. That is definitely a big portion you're missing. You don't have that pure point guard. And I even remember beginning of the season, people were saying like, oh, Daquan's not scoring that many points. Like I think he had like 3 straight games with a goose egg in the points column, but like he affects the game in other ways. He's like a pesty on-ball guard. Distributes the ball well, good passer. So, yeah, as far as a floor general, that is one thing. Mike and I obviously have been sitting together at pretty much every game at this point. Early in the second half on Friday, we looked at the scoreboard. I think the Friars were up 1, and it was like, it does not feel like we're winning this game right now. Like it feels like everything's going wrong. We're playing like shit. And then the Villanova game, it was a 5-point game. And we were like, how is this a single-digit game? It feels like every single game this team starts off down 10-0. Like the ball's tipped, it's 10-0. Now we play it from here.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because we know the talent's there. And it's just you're banging your head against the wall.
Yeah, but that goes back to the defense. It's like they continually get down early. It's like with the way the defense has been playing, like you get down like that, you're not going to be able to trade baskets for the rest of the game. It's just not going to happen. You have to string together stops, and they just can't seem to do that. Yeah. And it's just very head scratching as to why. And why are all these guys having their career high shooting against us? Why? The open looks are just. It's insane. And the breakdowns happen almost every possession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost every game now, career high. And that's just got to be a mental thing and a toughness thing, period. I mean, I don't have any other excuse for it.
Yeah, well, there's clearly a weak spot that some of these coaches, you're watching tape and you're just like, this is it. I mean, I'm not in here watching film, so I don't know, but that's what these coaches get paid to do. Is to figure out your weak spots. There's something that we're doing that is incredibly weak, and these teams must hone in on that every time they come play PC.
I would argue it's a lack of scouting of what the other team does well. I know we won the game at MSG, but like right off the rip against St. John's, when Zuby hit 2 threes and Oswin was on an island, just like 15 feet away from Zuby, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the Big East preseason player of the year, he can also step out and shoot threes. Not sure if you knew that, but might want to get out and put a hand in his face.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the thing. Is it Is it the scouting? Is it the coaching? Or is it the players executing? And I think maybe it's a little bit of both. It's so perplexing. And I mean, these issues happen in college basketball. Mistakes happen. These kids, they make mistakes. They don't follow instructions. I think we've seen that. I think Vaaks and Jones, are culprits of that, and they're probably our two best players. I mean, Jalen Sellers is kind of like disappeared a little bit. So, I think it's kind of Vaaks and Jones, and I think those two guys are probably two of the biggest culprits of like sometimes just not following directions. But you have to live with that. Same thing with Jason Edwards too. Like obviously Jason Edwards is a little bit of a liability on the defensive end, and sometimes he makes some really bad decisions on the offensive end. But then at times, then he can also score 30. So it's like you do have to live with the good and the bad. So I don't know. It's tough. I think that ultimately there's a young coaching staff for the most part. It's a young coach. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes. It's just at what point do we say, all right, enough is enough? Like Mac has said in the past, there's got to be a breaking point.
Yeah. And you mentioned the young coaching staff. And again, I want to stay neutral on the whole situation because I think there's pros and cons to whatever the future is on each side with the coaching staff. Kim is a young coach, and I think sometimes the argument has become, well, he's a young coach. He's figuring it out. I don't think figuring it, like you don't land a high major job while you're figuring it out. Like this is a very sought after job. I understand, young coaches, they work out the kinks, but you were in the A10, you had time to figure it out. Obviously, granted, albeit not much time. He was there for 2-3 years. But like that can't be an excuse if you're a high major coach. Like you're in one of the best basketball conferences in the country. I don't know. That's just one thing that's kind of rubbed me the wrong way is he's still figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. There's no more leeway. There's no more like, all right, give him a break to figure it out because you're in year 3 of coaching a Big East program and there's no more time to figure it out. And there's no time to not rep your school, that pays you $2+ million per year when you're on the sidelines, and these are all fair criticisms. And it doesn't mean that like I'm fuck Kim English, get him out of here, fire him mid-season. But like we're all fans. We all live and die by this program. If you can't throw on a little Friar polo on a Friday night to coach the boys, like that's horrible. It's horrible. Just horrible.
Yeah, and someone was giving Mac a hard time. They thought he posted that. I was the one who posted the picture and posted the tweet. If anybody has an issue with that, reporting the news, I feel like that is newsworthy. This guy, I'm almost 100%, 99% positive he's worn a Providence logo in every single game he's ever coached at Providence until Tuesday night. And I was like, okay, fine. I mean, I was and I looked at Mac. I go, well, the rest of the staff is wearing it. That's weird. Okay. Friday night comes around, all black, no logo again. The whole rest of the staff is wearing matching Providence gear. If you're going to sit here and say we're trying to stir up controversy, you're not looking at it the right way because he has worn a logo every single game. And now when shit's kind of starting to hit the fan right now, all of a sudden you're not sporting the school. It's like, and like Leb said, it's like they're paying you millions of dollars and you're all over national television. You don't have a logo on you. So I'm just a little confused as to why he would do that now.
And it's not like you can chalk it up to like, oh, it's a coincidence.
No.
We understand what the conversations are around the program. And Kim is a smart guy. Like I think he's very good at knowing what gets a reaction out of the fan base. You see it even like when he was on Twitter, like on social media, you'll see it like whether it's like super cryptic stuff, like he knows what gets the fan base riled up, whether it's good or bad. He knows, these subtleties that will kind of spark a reaction. And I don't think it's a coincidence that at this point in the season, like, listen, whether it's a huge deal or not, I think there's intent behind what he's doing.
Definitely. And you got to be more mentally tough than that, right? Like you coached under Rick Barnes. At the end of the day, Rick Barnes at some point pulled Kim English aside and said, "Hey, like, I think it's a great idea for you to go there. The fans are a little bit tough, like, but you're going to get paid really well. And if you win, they're going to like be at your beck and call, and you'll never have to buy a drink anywhere in the state of Rhode Island. Like, you did sign up for this, right? And it's not our fault that it hasn't gone our way or your way. So we're here. We're supporting 12,500 last night.
Right.
We're doing our part, So don't punish the program and punish the fans because we haven't had success. Maybe have you had some bad bounces? Sure. But you got to wear the logo.
Right. And for sure, we've had some bad luck, but we don't want to be we've had bad luck, guys, but, call a spade a spade. There's been a couple bounces that haven't gone our way, a couple shot, like the Floyd shot against UConn could have been a buzzer beater, plays in Vatek, whatever. Sure. But that's the way it is. And like you said, the fans are doing their part. We are continually showing up and filling up that building and cheering as loud as we possibly can. So I feel like we're holding up our end of the bargain. Don't get me wrong. There's some crazy motherfuckers out there who say some crazy shit, which is totally unacceptable. But as far as the majority of the fan base, we are showing up continually, and you better believe I'm going to show up with my logo. You better believe I'm going to have my logo hanging in my room as a 34-year-old. Yeah, a girl might walk in and say, "You're 34 and you have a Providence logo in your room." I'm sorry. It's my life.
That's all right.
To do. To be fair, she would think you're the man, I'd imagine, if there's a Friars logo. She'd probably be like, "Oh, this guy's dope. This guy, he's a Friar? Whoa. This guy's dope.
Cool."
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with being a part of the most viewed Big East basketball podcast in the country,
Yeah. You go into any stall in the amp, you never know if you're going to see a Divine Providence sticker.
Yep.
True. They're everywhere.
You never know. And please, can we just add a couple more toilets? Please?
That's never going to happen.
I'm begging you, just add a couple more. That's it. There's room in those bathrooms. I've never been to a sporting event where there are longer lines to take a piss in my life.
Mm-hmm. It was terrible for March Madness. For some, they were well past capacity for March Madness. Like, I remember, it was probably it might have been halftime of one of the games, but all the seats were filled. I was like, do these people not understand the concept of going to the bathroom at halftime? So the seats were filled. It was packed in there. And I was like, okay, well, then the bathroom lines must be empty. I walk out, and the entire concourse is just shoulder to shoulder. They might have put 30,000 people in the dunk during March Madness, and the lines were just brutal. It was, and then it would intersect with the beer lines, and there was just no room for anyone to walk.
It was, I went with you to the St. John's game. The St. John's game was the worst because the St. John's Arkansas game, the second St. John's game, that was the worst. I think they might have let an extra 3,000 people in from Queens, that just made the trip and just walked in because and it was a really bad time to be a dude with fucking kidney issues in the amp and have to wait 30 minutes to go to the bathroom because dude, you just you really, that was exactly it. The whole seating was full, but the lines were just incredible. It was unbelievable.
It's insane. It's you sold out the arena, but it's also we're going to sell tickets for the concourse so you can literally not see the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
I have one other gripe while we're on not hoops right now. Is there a reason why they haven't had a Lenny Wilkins patch LW on the jersey all year?
Ooh.
When Dave Gavitt died, they had DG immediately on the jersey. I feel like there should have been even a black band and LW on the jersey this year. I don't know. I'm a little confused as to why they haven't done that.
Totally agree. That's unacceptable. I mean, he's a top 5 Friar of all time. You can't. I mean, you got to honor your greats when they pass away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was the first number retired in program history too, or at least the earliest player to have their number retired. So, I mean, like, you talk about, like, forefathers of Providence College basketball. Yeah, I mean, obviously Dave Gavitt's right there too, but yeah, that's interesting. It's funny you pointed that out because I feel like we definitely talked about that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But it kind of just got swept under the rug.
Shout out to Storm for that one because he'll mention it every single game. He's like, I can't believe they don't have LW on the jersey, and I'm like, Dad, you're spot on, man. I'm confused. It's just as confused as you are. It should be a no-brainer.
It's a good point. Totally good point. I agree. So you guys were both in the building last night. I know that the crowd on paper obviously was very good. It sounded really good on TV, but what was the energy like? Was it kind of buzzing, or was it just a full capacity arena but not that much energy?
Well, going back to Tuesday, for some reason, Mac, I don't know if you felt the same. It felt weird in there. The energy felt weird. I don't know why it felt off. My dad didn't go Tuesday, so maybe that was it. But like, I don't know. They banged it out, and it just the energy just never came, and they didn't really play great. So I felt like Tuesday was a little bit off. Maybe I'm off the mark there, but last Friday it was a lot better. It was a Friday night, so people were just in weekend mode. Ton of students were there. People were excited. So the vibes are solid. Nothing obviously like the UConn game. I feel like that game just took so much wind out of just everybody's sail, which is super unfortunate. But like I said, people are still showing up and bringing the energy. Lab, I also thought it was interesting. You were tweeting and just asking a question about the students, like, why are you leaving with 5 minutes left to go? And I did see a response that I guess does make sense. The kids want to go to the bars. They want to go to Brad's or Old's. They don't want to wait in line, so they hurry up and get out of there. I totally understand that. You also don't want to, hold people at will. But I was thinking, like, can you just have the buses not leave until the end of the game?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And that was really my question. I wasn't like saying, I would never tell college kids as a 31-year-old how to have fun, because this is the shortest 4 years of your life, especially at that place like PC, which is just so electric and such a great time, especially during basketball season, right? I mean, this is what you wait for as a PC student. But I was more just curious, like, what is it? Is it like to get a spot on the bus, just to get back to campus? Is it to get, a place in line at the bar? So I was just more curious, and it got a lot of responses. It was overwhelmingly just the bar. So, if you're an owner of Olds or Brad's, especially Brad's is the owner of Brad's is a massive fan of the basketball program. I would tell people, like, don't come here early, man. Fucking wait.
Right. Because there were people leaving on Tuesday, and that was a school night. And then, they ended up cutting it to like 5 or something. And I saw a bunch of kids, run back into the arena. So I don't know. It's tough with the whole bus thing. I know. As a student, you would just love to just be able to walk. It's a unique situation being far off campus. You got to get on a school bus, the whole night. It's a pain in the ass. I get it.
As far as the crowd Tuesday, I think I could go one of two ways with this. I'm not going to go macro. I'm going to go micro. I think Tuesday night, the energy might have felt weird for this reason, Mike. I didn't think it felt like I don't know, like weird per se, but it felt like the crowd was waiting for something to cheer for. Like it felt like we were like one shot away from just like the roof blowing off the place, and you never got it. And I think I don't think the home court advantage that we've talked about for like the better part of a decade has gone anywhere. Like the students still show up, the locals still show up, the alumni still come in from, Boston, Worcester, whatever, like take the train in. It's the fan base still shows out. They're still knowledgeable of the game. It's just it's just the on-court product. It's we're waiting for something to pop. And you saw it a couple times Friday night against Creighton. You saw beers. We were sitting with Avid, and students are throwing beers, and he's like, "Oh, like I don't know how I feel about." Yeah, it's a little early to throw a beer with like 12 minutes left in the game. It's a like 2-possession game. Like
They're dying to chuck beers.
that's
Yeah,
what, but
or something.
that's what I'm saying. Like Tuesday night, it was like you probably had hundreds of students ready to just fire their beer in the air, and you just see the beer splatter everywhere. Like I don't think it's a product of the crowd. I think it's more a product of the on-court product, giving us something to pop off about.
And you're right about the Boston thing too. I mean, this is a very small sample size, but when I was driving home Tuesday night, I saw like at least 5 cars with the Providence sticker on it driving up back home when I was going to Quincy. Like I saw a bunch of cars on the highway with Providence stickers. So people are driving from far and wide to come down and watch this team, man. It's just different, man. I don't know. People love this freaking team.
It is.
I sit an hour and a half of traffic. These 6:30 games, no matter what time I leave, it's taking me an hour and a half to get there. Not to do the whole woe is me thing, but like I'm getting my ass down there.
Yeah.
Divine Friars had a tweet, I think it was earlier today, and it was basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but like for a team that's 21-29 in their last 50 games, you're still selling out crowds.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty impressive. Like there are very few places in the country where you can sell out an arena and play 400 basketball over the course of like a year and a half. Very few places in I'm sorry, if UConn were 21-29 in their last 50 games, they would have problems selling tickets. I will die on that hill. I guess we'll never know because they're a great program, but in very few places in the country can you sell out an arena like that.
I agree. And that's really going back to Kim with the logo and maybe being a little disenchanted with the fan base. This fan base is actually really, really easy. Like when he beat St. John's on the road, people were like almost all the way back in. That Fire Kim English Twitter account got deleted. Like people, like it doesn't take much. So we're almost, I think like a comparison is like we're almost like the ex, boyfriend or girlfriend who just like you get a little bit from them and then you get the wrong idea and you're like all the way back in, that's kind of like the PC fan base. It's just like, just give us a little something and, we will like you. Right. But when you give us nothing, then we're going to probably turn on you. So I don't blame any PC fans. If you are upset, if you're not upset, if you're happy, if you're in the middle, I don't blame you. You have every right to feel what you want to feel. We can't deny that if the coaching staff feels a certain way toward the fan base, that is like a little icky to me because it's like, this is, it's your fault at the end of the day. It's not our fault. So
you use the relationship analogy. You use the relationship analogy and I think you're right. Like the highs are high, but the lows are really low.
Yeah.
Again, want to stay neutral, but are we in a toxic relationship?
Yeah, no, it is
for sure. It would be hilarious if you made like a meme. So Goodwill Hunting when he keeps saying it's not your fault, and it's Robin Williams, but it's just the Friar mascot. He's telling him, he's like, it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault.
It's not. It's really not. And it's that's the thing. It's like. I hated seeing that, and I hate I'm sure Kim feels a certain way, and I think it's human nature to be upset at people who say like you should be fired, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, to kind of punish the whole fan base to me doesn't feel right, So
it's hard because he's a prideful guy, and I'm the same way, and I have a hard time sometimes swallowing my own pride if I feel disrespected by somebody, and I think he feels a little disrespected and kind of in how he's treated. I guess I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, so I guess I can see both sides. But as a fan, I noticed the no logo thing, and it kind of was just like, come on, man, like not asking for much, like and it's just awkward to see the whole staff wearing it too. So just a tough one. I don't know.
Definitely. And you got Cooley coming in here in 1 week from today. Cooley comes in and, as much as we hate Cooley and I would never, ever, ever want him back, when he was here for the 12 years, the guy did eat, sleep, and breathe Providence College basketball and, this area, this city. And then you have another guy who can't even wear the logo when he's on the bench. So it's going to feel, a little weird. And if I'm Ed Cooley, I'm taking note of that. It's like, hey, I know you guys hate me, but your new coach doesn't even want to wear your logo. And hey, I like Kim much better than I like Ed. That goes without saying. But we can't deny that Ed Cooley, he was here and he made it his, and he was all about the fans and the people. So
Also, what was you guys' thoughts? So going back to Tuesday now, Mac and I were watching warm-ups, and then the team comes out, and the story was Jones was on the injury report, but he was out there warming up and he was fine. Then all of a sudden we see Jason Edwards come out in sweats and he wasn't on the injury report. And we're like, what is this? And then the next thing you know, you find out plantar fasciitis. And then you see he's out again last night, Friday night's game, with plantar fasciitis as well. I don't know. That came out of nowhere. We didn't hear much about it. It's kind of a weird injury. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I will say this. Jason Edwards cannot get another year of eligibility via a medical red shirt. So anyone who's saying he's sitting intentionally to get another year, that's physically impossible at this point in the season. He can get another year based on the JUCO rule, but that's not an individual thing. It's either NCAA passes it for everyone or for no one. So he could get another year. So if he is sitting for something non-injury related, it's more than likely, something like disciplinary, which I have, no knowledge of, but that would be the only reason he would be sitting for injury. The plantar thing is a little suspicious just because that's an injury where it's usually like kind of a lingering thing. It doesn't just kind of, crop up in the middle of the year.
Right. And that's why I said that. It was a little odd.
Right. And no one knows about it. So, I think that is a little suspicious, but he can't get another medical redshirt year. It's physically impossible at this point. He's played too many games. He's past the threshold point of the season. But maybe he could be just sitting for the rest of the year. Maybe he doesn't want to play. Maybe Kim kind of reduced his role again. Again, these are all unsubstantiated conspiracy theories that really I don't care to get involved with anyways. We said this about Duncan Paul. We said about DeQuan. I think it's more than likely he's probably, hurt or he's disciplined somehow.
Yeah, I think obviously we are a little scarred from the Bryce Hopkins situation last year, and it's easy to kind of just throw the label on a player when they're sitting out of nowhere and you don't know what their timeline looks like. That, oh well, they're sitting out for the season. They're transferring out. Like Leb laid out, that's really not an option. This is Jason Edwards' last year of college basketball. And I'm not, I think we learned a lot from the Bryce Hopkins situation. I think Jason Edwards is going to play this year, but I think we learned a lot from last year's situation that there really is no transparency, I guess. It's a lot of just keeping your cards close to your chest, not really saying what's going on. And it allows for speculation like this. I really do think if the plantar fasciitis was truly a thing, you would have seen Jason Edwards' name on the injury report before Tuesday night's game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. You know what I mean? And he shows up in layup lines and in a jumpsuit, and you know what I mean? It's to me, there's no other explanation other than whether it's disciplinary, personal reasons. But I also don't want to just run with that narrative.
Sure.
Yeah. PC's always done a great job of keeping things under wraps, by the way. Also, I was laughing because, Lev, were you adjusting your light?
Yeah, I was trying to find the right lighting,
You turning purple. It's you looked like the girl who ate the gum in Willy Wonka, the chocolate
factory. Violet Beauregard.
Yes.
Is that it? Is that the purple?
Yeah. Very nice.
I like this one. It's a little warm,
Yeah, a nice warm one. Looks like you get a tan.
You get a little sun.
Yeah.
I can use it. Mac looks tan. I mean, where was this cruise? The center of the earth? I mean, you still got a little tan.
Good, dude.
You're usually the pale one. I'm the tan one. You're usually the pale one. You still got a tan from the cruise.
No, that's just good lighting, brother.
See, so right now
Good,
we're in
good,
the
good skincare, a little bit of
nice
little moisturizer.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're, with us being in the heart of winter, and a lot of people are doing their winter vacations here. To change the subject a little bit, what would be your guys' number one place if you're like, hey, you could go anywhere right now to get out of the cold? Where are you going?
Well, to get out of the cold, I would say I had a great time in Aruba, but I wouldn't want to really go somewhere that I already went. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Give me like somewhere in the Caribbean again. Something not Aruba, but the Caribbean, because you got to factor in convenience too, right?
Right.
People say like, "Oh, give me Bali." Like, dude, I'm not sitting on a plane for like 23 hours. Like, no, I'm not going to Bali, and like that's cool and all. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not that guy. The Caribbean is a nice like 5-6 hour flight, depending on where you go. Whatever, you fly back, no big deal.
I've been very interested in the idea of like a trip to Arizona recently.
Yeah, Mac, you would love Scottsdale.
So specifically Scottsdale. But like I also hear a lot of people complain about the dry heat. I don't know if that's an issue.
It's fine. You go out there this time of the year, you're fine. So I went out there last winter for spring training. It's perfect. But then I went out there for the MLB Combine this summer. It felt like if you stepped outside, you were in an oven at 450 degrees baking cookies. Insane heat. Like that's their winter. Like you can't go outside. Like you cannot hang outside in the summer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But this time of the year, dude, you would thrive. The bars are a blast. There's a whole strip of them. Like you name it, they got whatever you want out there.
When's the Waste Management?
It's Super Bowl week. It's always the week of the Super Bowl, I believe.
So then there you go. I mean, that would be the perfect time to go.
Yeah.
Tournament is just ridiculous and just a content machine. That would, and I'm not a huge golf fan of watching golf. But that would be something I would definitely do at some point in my life.
Yeah.
I think that tournament does a good job of like bridging the game and like the casual fan. Like that's kind of one of the first things where I was like, this is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, well, since we're not doing places we already been, I love PB, Pacific Beach in San Diego. It's like my favorite place in the world.
Oh yeah.
Or the Maldives looks sick. And it's a far flight. It's a long flight, but it looks just like, postcard central over there.
You get one of those cabanas on the water.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Hawaii is also one of those. I'd like to go.
Good call.
Yeah. Hawaii would be awesome.
Hawaii would be sick.
I really want to go next year. PC's playing in Hawaii next year. But it is
right.
Thanksgiving, and my girlfriend has given me a little resistance about that because it's Thanksgiving, and I understand. Doesn't spend a lot of time with her family, lives with me. So I get it. Thanksgiving is a big holiday, but man, like I really would love to go to that.
The
that
MT,
would be awesome.
I need to make an MTE trip really bad. I think I've landed on my final decision though, as far as warm places I would go. Clearwater, Florida.
Okay. I mean,
first Hooters ever. Is that why?
Oh, that's right. That is also a thing. No, I don't know why. I love that's just like one place I've been in. I'm just like, I have zero complaints about this place.
Really? Talk to me. I went once, but I just covered, it was Red Sox Phillies spring training.
Okay.
So I was at the park and I went right back to Fort Myers. What's the draw down there?
It's more of like, it's not as like hustle and bustle as like you would expect a Miami to be, but it's still like you get the right on the coast.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Just as far as my travel experience goes, Clearwater is like, I a happy medium of everything, it feels like.
Okay. That made me think somewhere else in Florida I haven't been that I want to go. Key West. Have you guys done Key West?
Yep.
I was really little, but I'd love to go there.
Yeah.
Looks
It
nice.
looks fun.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to figure out. So I can't travel internationally for a little while, but we do want to go somewhere warm, and we've been thinking about Key West. Like maybe like April.
That could be a play.
Yeah, we're tossing it around. Key West, Sarasota, something like that.
I mean, have you done Sox spring training, Leb?
Yeah, I went once. When it was 2013. I went actually the year they won the World Series.
Oh, cool.
And it was a fun time. I don't know, like, if it's cool. You go to a game and then that's it. It's like, all right, this is a worse version of what I have an hour from my home. It's still cool, but it's like I wouldn't go just for that personally.
Yeah. You got to be a real diehard, but you can walk. Well, you can get there early and walk around and go watch the prospects in the backfield. They have the big team on the backfield. You can watch bullpens. You can get autographs.
See, like that one, I would like to go to practice more than I would like to go to a game necessarily.
Yes,
because like that's a unique perspective, and you can maybe talk to some players, talk to some coaches, whatever. Like that'd be sick, especially like if in your position, Mike, where you have access, like that would be unbelievable. Like I would do that in a heartbeat. Just to go to a game though, like that, and that's what I did. I didn't know like anything of that or anything like what to do, But yeah, I probably wouldn't go back just for a game.
Yeah, and it's tough because Fort Myers is a great town. I've been going every year since like 2017, and it was great because you had Fort Myers Beach. And we would go down all the time. They got leveled by the hurricane.
I know.
It was, and I went the year after to go look at just to take a drive. It was sad, man. Like restaurants, hotels, you name it, houses just completely leveled. Like they're still building that back up right now. Like it's not going to be the same for a long time. That was, wow, they hit poor Fort Myers smack dab right in the middle, man. That was brutal for that economy, for that town, but they're building back, and it's still, it'll be, a fun place to go at some point, but it's tough for Red Sox fans who had that when you went down to Fort Myers. You had the great beach or whatever, but yeah, no, it was crazy.
I went down to spring training in 2019, and for some reason, I actually couldn't tell you the full explanation as to why, but the only piece of like memorabilia or like anything I have of remembrance from that trip is a Pittsburgh Pirates hoodie. I don't know why it was specifically the Pirates where I was like, oh, I'm going to get that one. I don't know if it was because I like the colors. Like I obviously
colors,
like
black and yellow.
Yeah. Like the Sox. It's like, all right, I have enough like Red Sox stuff. I went to the Phillies ballpark. I was like, yeah, the red and white. Like, do I really want like a hoodie like that? It also, sorry, English, not my first language. It also said whole squad ready. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those hoodies. And I was like,
nobody wants that.
I don't know why. I was like, dude, that's a Migos lyric. Like, let me buy that.
I thought you were going to say you didn't want that. I'm sorry. I just said
no. No, I have the hoodie.
No, it sounds fire.
I'll break it out next time we record, or I'll send you guys a picture or something. It's just like a Pirates hoodie that says like spring training 2019, whole squad ready. I just like use it for like
white boy swag thing I've ever heard in my entire.
It was fresh.
Bro thought he was.
Well, I used to have a no, Leb. I was just gonna say that I used to have a Pittsburgh Pirates fitted. I wore all the time because of Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, I was a big.
And I was like, dude, Taylor Gang, like Pittsburgh.
Taylor Gang. Yeah, dude, we used to rep Taylor Gang like we were in it. Like that was so stupid. In high school,
no blunts, only papers, man.
Dude, his mixtapes were really good though. Before he went, full album, the mixtapes were phenomenal. Like that's all
Cushion OJ.
Yep.
Cushion OJ classic, Flight School, Star Power.
Yep. Yeah.
Mac, were you vibing with those early Wiz mixtapes or no? You're probably too young for that.
Yeah, no, too young. My introduction to Pittsburgh music though was like the Mac Miller.
Yeah.
When that whole like the frat rap thing was coming up,
Sure.
I was like, Oh yeah, this is cool shit.
Mac Miller, Asher Roth,
Yep.
Yeah.
freaking
got
Sam
a little-
Adams.
You got a little Mac Miller vibe to you, Mac. Plus, your name is Mac, but you are
True.
alive. So that's good.
That's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
Mike Stud. Mike Stud's another one. That was my Mike Stud origin story. Was the frat rap era.
But yeah, but
I
he's
saw
a
you-
New England guy, right?
What's up?
He's a New England guy, right? Mike
Yep.
Stud?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's from Cranston.
Oh yeah, he's from
I
Rhode
thought
Island.
he was from-
Mm.
I thought he was from. Is it Cranston? I thought it was Johnston.
Same thing.
Same thing. I saw you posted something from him the other day, right, Mac? Did he come out with a new album or song?
No, it was the 10-year anniversary of one of his albums,
Okay.
which made me feel old as fuck. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I remember like I was in high school and I would like just throw it up. Like first day it came out, I'm like, I'm listening to this all day. That was my shit. And then I went back and listened to it. I'm like, this isn't really my vibe anymore.
Yeah, no, I feel that same way about some of the older music. I can't get into it. But yeah, shout out Mike Stud, roadie guy,
Mm-hmm.
made a name for himself. He played baseball too, right? I think.
Yep, he played at Duke.
Yeah, and speaking of baseball too, another Rhode Island note: they retired Michael King's number at Hendricken the other day.
I did see
Pitched
that.
for the Padres, which was
Sorry.
no, sorry, Leb, go ahead.
Oh no, I just saw that. I didn't have
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Michael King. We did a slab lab with him, with Dallas Braden. He was a wicked good dude, and we talked some roadie.
It's awesome. I really wanted the Red Sox to go after him. You know, great
Oh.
fit. I will say though, now that they got Ranger Suarez, I don't care like that.
Yeah.
That made me feel nothing about Michael King. But at the time when he signed elsewhere, I was pretty upset. Where did he go?
King, he's back with the Padres.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that made me upset. But with Ranger Suarez, I'd much rather have Ranger Suarez. No
Oh,
offense, to King, but you know,
I'm for anyone that cares, my fandom is all the way back. Like once college basketball ends, I'm all the way back in on baseball. I was talking to Avid last night. It was me, Mike, and Avid. We were sitting together at the game. I'm like, yeah, dude, like we're going to Fenway. We're getting some Divine Providence content at Fenway. We're doing
100%,
something.
yeah.
We're gonna have a little weekend out of it. And like
Yeah.
I'm all the way back in on the Sox.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
it's great. This is all four of us, you know, Avid, and then us three are all big Sox fans. So it's gonna be good. That's really what I'm looking forward to a lot, you know, because I mean this winter it's gonna be a little bit like, you know, I'm not gonna be fully recovered for college basketball season. I will be going to the Georgetown game, obviously, but you know, it's like still not feeling 100%. Not like physically, like no pain, but it's just still like the fatigue from, you know, a little organ getting implemented in you and, you know, the meds and all that stuff. But by spring and summer, I'm going to be just ready to rock and roll. So looking forward to a good Red Sox season. They got to get a bat here. Got to get a bat.
Gotta get it back. They'll do something, but I was saying, Leb, you couldn't have picked a better time to like not be going to the games. Like
I know.
it's some of them, like this worked out great for you,
I know.
honestly. And you're gonna fucking roll right, and it's shitty out anyways. I mean, it's cold. You're gonna roll right into the summer, fucking summer of Leb, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Summer-
big time summer of love.
You know what? Because these meds, I've been getting like, it's finally died down a little bit because my dose is much lower. But like, dude, I get so hot, like the hot flashes, and like blood pressure's been through the roof, and I just can't I can't get cool enough, you know. But dude, I was thinking about like, if it was like 90 degrees out, like I'd be
Ooh.
cooked.
Yeah.
But the Georgetown, the biggest games I felt robbed of, the only two I felt like I really was pissed that I couldn't go to, was obviously URI game. You know, that was a really great game, tons of energy, and it ended up being like kind of a blowout. And then at St. John's is a game that I usually go to, and I couldn't. So it was only really one game at the AMP where I really felt robbed of like not being able to go. The rest were like, all right, whatever. Like, would have been nice to be there, but you know,
UConn could have been a nightmare if they won on a buzzer beater for you.
correct.
You were robbed. You were robbed of Mike Eamon night.
Yes,
I
obviously
wish
that-
you were there.
the pregame festivities for that obviously I felt terrible about missing that, but the game itself, obviously I didn't.
Yeah. But everybody wanted to meet you. Everyone on the Section 10 show knows about you guys, and everyone met Mac, and they wanted to meet Leb too. So it'll happen.
Yeah, I can't wait. But it'll be an awesome baseball season. We still got some basketball left here to play. Real quick, I just want to say thank you to Dave Coletta once again. But he's put me on the court for the Georgetown game. So told me that today. Yeah, I'm incredibly ecstatic. His family has just been so great. And, his father's been a great resource, had a kidney transplant. Dave, obviously in the medical field. So he's been a great resource as well. Just incredibly thankful for them, their family. They've done so much for the program and for us as well. So just huge shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Dave. And he's always got crazy drip on.
Yeah, he's dripping. Shoe
this
guy.
He's going crazy. Like he's got the Kith. He's probably got the Stussy Supreme. Like he goes crazy. His sneaker collection looks wild too.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot in common, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the orange beanie and the Friars hockey sweatshirt last night. I was like, all right, Dave, I see you, Dave.
Shout out PC Hockey won in overtime against BC last night, and they were wearing the black PC Hockey jerseys. I need one so fucking bad. Those are so fly. Yeah. With a hoodie under it and like a black Red Sox hat or a Fear of God hat. Damn, I need one of those.
We gotta get some merch. We gotta get some merch from Nap from someone. We really lay our lives on the line. I'm getting death threats after the St. John's game. This guy's sending me my address.
That's
that's insane.
That was insane. I will say I've been triple locking my doors, but yeah.
What's your address? Just on record.
Yeah, just to let everyone know to make sure it's you.
Well, that guy, you can ask that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wild, dude. Hey, what were you even tweeting that much during the game? You didn't even say anything.
A little bit, nothing crazy, like normal stuff.
Crazy.
We know who it is, and I talked to the police, and he's harmless. He's just he's a little spoosty, as my dad would say. Just a little out there, but yeah, you know what? He's harmless, and
is
here you get a couple 1-2 buckle my shoes, anyways.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to show up,
I know we're gonna probably save a lot of the Georgetown talk for an episode later this week. After Marquette, before Georgetown. But Leb, I think it's fucking awesome that your first game back is gonna be like it's divine providence that you are.
It's divine providence, yeah.
That your first game back post kidney transplant is going to be Ed Cooley coming to the dunk on the 4th Saturday in January. And shout out Dave Coletta, because you are going to be 35 feet directly across from Ed Cooley. Like, I know you'll be well behaved. You'll be on your best behavior. But I also think, and I think everyone that will be near you will understand, you're going to let him hear it. And I'm very happy you get that opportunity.
Yeah. The all strictly verbal. So, amp security, you can lay down your big guns,
drop your weapons.
It's just going to be verbal, and we'll keep it clean. We'll even keep it PG-13 for you guys. It's going to be
nice.
Fine. Yeah. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. There will be extra security in the building, but it will not be needed for me. So, I'm going
to bring caution tape for you.
Yeah, I need
just block off the seats.
I know.
What's the plan, Leb? You're just going straight to the game, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to pregame. That's a little bit too risky for me right now. But I'm willing to take the risk for the game. Not going to take the risk for the pregame. So.
Which is also good for you down there on the floor as well. You're not surrounded by a ton of people either.
I agree. It's actually a perfect scenario because directly in front of me is the players, and behind me is really there's not really anyone breathing down your neck. So
no, not at all.
Yeah, it's a dream scenario, and I'm incredibly grateful. So
Good. I'm happy for you, bud.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
then Mac, you said you're going to Murphy's early and often.
Yeah, I'm I've received an invite to a function that morning. So I'm weighing my options, but Murphy's is if I'm out at a bar, it's going to be Murphy's.
Okay.
I'm still TBD, but I'll RSVP before Saturday.
A function. Interesting.
Yeah.
Are we getting on campus or what?
What's that?
Are we getting Mac on campus or?
It's in the area.
Okay.
It's in the area.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, I'm torn, but obviously Murphy's is like the go-to spot before Georgetown. It's right there too, so I'll be with my buddies and
I think you're
we'll
actually
figure
going to
it
be at Murphy's either way if you really think about it.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be at Murphy's either way.
We'll explain that to Mike off the air. But
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I don't know what's going on. I figured I was going to meet up with Mac before I guess he's got a function at Murphy's either way. I don't know.
I don't want to be giving away too much information on the air.
That'd be awesome, man. I mean, getting in, with the students, and I got some extra stickers. I don't know if you've used all yours, but I still got some. And you get them out to the students, man. The students are where you need to get the stickers. Oh yeah, that's a nice fat stack. The students are where we really need to get those stickers, dispersed to. We need to get them out there.
Every day we lit. You can't tell me shit.
Dude, you bring those to Foxy. That's better than money.
Probably. Oh, wait. Oh, timeout. Boys, not only do I have the ones I just showed you.
Oh shit.
Boys, I got the
granddaddy of them all.
Matter of fact, I might bring the whole bag with me on Saturday and just blow through them. Like, whoever wants sticker, I'm going to be just throwing stickers at people, leaving them everywhere.
We can always get more, and
exactly,
it's the best time to do it.
Yeah.
And then people are going to be throwing them at Foxy later. Imagine after a big loss at PC, Ed Cooley's at Foxy, just trying to just enjoy his time, and he's in a sea of Divine Providence stickers.
Yeah. Good luck, bud. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll let me. I wonder if they'll let us just post a bunch of stickers up in the visitors' locker room.
That'd be
just for Saturday. Just for Saturday. Mental warfare. Fuck this guy. Fuck Ed Cooley.
I put a sticker. I'm like outing myself right now. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. On the trash can in front of the amp, still there. Been there all season. Everyone walks right in. You can see it. It's electric. I thought for sure someone was going to take that down.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's not vandalism. It's you can peel it off. It's temporary. So just someone has to do it if they want to do it. So there's no crime committed there. I love it. It's fantastic.
I put one up in you guys. Well, Mac hasn't asked him, but Leb Skeffs in East Providence.
Oh yeah, we used to play them in softball.
Yeah, so me and my dad went there before the game last night. Good food, good wings, good burger, cool little bar.
Yeah.
Good service. So yeah, shout out Skeffs.
Yeah, good spot for sure. Love that. You and Norm, dude, you got the good spots down.
We're always popping around, man. We wanted to go to the deli in Pawtucket.
Maven.
Called?
Yeah. I haven't been there
Maven.
Yet. Yeah.
We haven't been yet though. So that's on the list.
You ever been to Cat's Deli?
Oh yeah.
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 That's like a poor man's Cats.
Yeah, Cats was great. And then Langer's in LA, if anyone's been there, is similar. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen the videos about that. I've never been, but
outstanding.
I don't have much food takes, but I had a tweet the other day, and I would love to get in contact with someone who dictates Baja's marketing and get old Divine Providence sponsorship.
Hit up hit up someone from PC because they have a sponsorship with PC, so they might know.
True. I would sell the shit out of Baja's.
Yeah.
Number one fan right here.
Yeah. You do sell it already. We've talked about Baja's on the show quite a bit.
Yeah. I think I sweat Bajas at this point.
I think you do.
I'm actually making. I got all the ingredients before the show. I'm making pulled pork in a crock pot for tomorrow's NFL football playoff game between the Houston Texans and our New England Patriots.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Go Pats. Would love to see them back in the AFC Championship game. You know, it's so special. The football Final Four is a special day. It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the best days in sports when you have the AFC Champ game and the NFC Champ game. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yep. So I'm excited. I've never done it. I got the crock pot, so hopefully I don't fuck this up. And I got the King's Hawaiian rolls ready to go.
Yep.
And then the coleslaw on top of that. Make yourself a little slider. So I'll report back about how this goes.
You can't fuck it up. If you fuck it up, then I mean your crock pot's off. If you fuck it up, it's impossible. It's physically impossible. You just put it in there with the ingredients and you let it cook. If you overcook it, oh well. It's still good. It's like the same as if it were cooked perfectly. So
yeah, I think like 9 tomorrow morning. I got to get that thing rolling to have it ready by kickoff.
Yeah, that's electric. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of barbecue sauce are you using?
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Good.
You know, we're not blowing anybody out of the water, but you know, just give me your fastball. And I think Sweet Baby Ray's has a really good fastball, 98 on the paint, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's tried and true. You know, if you can't beat it. You really can't beat it. You need a bucket down the stretch. You're going to Sweet Baby Ray.
Right. And if you want a closer, it's got to be the King's Hawaiian rolls every time.
Okay.
That's going to be the star of the show. The King's Hawaiian rolls, man. God, I can't wait.
Yeah. You know what? A little hack that my girlfriend's family does is, you know, those like crispy onion strings in a bag. Like they're like dehydrated onions and they're crispy. Like
sure.
You put a little on there on the sandwich. Phenomenal. Just absolutely.
Wow, a little crunch in there.
A little crunch. It's bliss.
Okay.
It's very good.
Fine.
Yeah.
I like that play.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I was skeptical at first. I was like, well, I like it how it is, you know. But then you add a little crunch and it's perfect, man.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I'm always down for trying something new. I've been getting in my bag lately in the kitchen, so
that's you got it, man. I mean, that's your mid-30s, you know. It's
I'm doing a lot of the 30-year-old stuff, doing a lot of laundry, a lot of cleaning, a lot of cooking.
Yep.
So it's riveting, man. It really is.
I have no bag when it comes to the kitchen. Zero bag.
Yeah. You kind of strike me as a type, to be honest.
I'm a culinarily challenged individual.
It's all right. That means you had you had a good mother, typically, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out Mary Ellen.
Yeah. Shout out Emmy. If you're lost in the kitchen, that means you had a pretty good mom, you know.
Yeah, well said.
And if you're not lost in the kitchen, it doesn't mean you had a bad mom. It just means that, you know, maybe you like to explore a little bit, you know. Growing up, you know, I like to eat, so I developed a little bit of a bag, you know. But but I had an awesome mom, as we all know, you know. She
So
legend.
Some would say the goat mom.
Yeah.
Some would. I mean, you know, I'm not going to take away from any other moms, obviously, but you know, my mom was a phenomenal. So shout out, mom.
While we're on mom talk, I want to give a shout out to Paula. My mom, she's an absolute saint. Love her dearly. She also is a great cook herself. Learned from her mother, who is Providence's own, Judy.
So is that Italian or Portuguese?
Portuguese. That was my grandmother and my great grandmother, 100% Portuguese. They lived on Benefit Street in Providence.
Wow, really?
Their whole life. They were
my mom
right in the mix.
My mom also lived on Benefit Street, but she was Irish. So the Irish and the Portuguese on the east side of Providence. They
shit.
Yeah. Yep.
You know the house. It's the house is literally on the corner of Benefit, and then what's the main road that goes at the end of Benefit?
It's either Waterman or Hope, or it's not Waterman.
Maybe it is Waterman. fuck, I forget. But the house is literally directly on the corner.
Okay, I
And
can't exactly picture it, but that's a iconic street.
oh my god! And I used to go over there, but the lawn wasn't big enough for a lawnmower, so I would go over there with a weed whacker and
Yeah.
just like weed whack the shit out of it, and then go up. And then my grandmother would make me some Portuguese food, and I would just house it.
Yeah, I love the East Side for that reason. Two of the best nationalities, Irish and Portuguese.
Yeah.
And back in the day, like my mom, she lived on Benefit, and then she lived in Fox Point. She like a couple different places, but yeah, she grew up really poor, and it was like that around there. Like, and then now it's like really gentrified.
Mhm.
Obviously some people stayed, but it's gentrified.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, love the East Side. Big fan of the East
It's
Side.
the best. Oh, it's the best, man.
Yep. All right. What else we got? Anything
Yeah.
else?
Let's win a ball game Monday.
Let's win a ball game. Marquette, we'll talk about that one a little bit and then preview Georgetown next episode. Maybe record like Tuesday or something like that if you guys are around.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm fired up, man. It's going to be great.
Big week.
I want to see
House
3
of Horrors, but we'll. I think our luck's going to change in Milwaukee.
Yeah. The Golden Eagles are rough this year. So if they're ever going to get one, it's going to be this year.
This is the year to do it, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Hey, go Friars,
Go Friars.
Go Friars. Jesus
All right,
Christ.